So how many of you here have ever had a loved one get sick, or you yourself have gotten sick? Everyone, right? So the next step after you realize you were sick and there's nothing you could do about it at home, you go to the doctor, you get medicine, you get better. Now imagine you go to the doctor, you show up, and the doctor says, "I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can do for you. You have a disease, and there's no cure. We can treat it, we can help you out, but this is something you'll have to live with for the rest of your life." What you just experienced is exactly what every single person who is diagnosed with MS experienced. The National MS Society defines MS as an unpredictable, often disabling disease that disrupts the flow of information within the brain and between the brain and the body. It causes abnormal responses in the immune system. A normal immune system generally fights off sickness, tries to make you healthier. And instead of fighting sickness, MS causes the immune system to fight your central nervous system. As you can imagine, this is never a good thing. It attacks and distorts signals that travel from the brain to the rest of your body. There are 4 types of this disease. The first type being clinically isolated syndrome. It's determined by lesions on the brain, and it's the least severe. It can be treated fairly easily. The lesions reoccur every now and then, but it's the treatable one. The next and most common is relapsing and remitting. As the name states, it continuously comes back. It is treatable and there are attacks over time, but it keeps coming back. This leads to secondary progressive. The body slowly deteriorates, and it's just a worse form. So attacks happen more frequently. They become worse. Your neurological function slowly decreases. The final and sadly the worst stage of this disease is primary progressive. By the end of it, the person has little to no neurological function. As I stated before, there is no known cure for MS. MayoClinic.org discusses how it can be treated. The treatments help the body recover after these attacks. So each time the immune system attacks the nervous system, the body has to recover. And the treatments help the body recover faster and try to prevent the attacks from happening again. There's temporary treatment and relief for clinically isolated MS and relapsing and remitting MS. However, primary and secondary progressive MS do not respond at all to treatments. The National MS Society has a vision to end MS. In their words, MS stops people from moving, so we're here to make sure that it doesn't. Its focus is to provide successful treatments and help people to live as normal lives as possible when they're faced with this disease. They have an excellent supply of resources. According to their website, they help people get informed, connect with others who have MS, and begin the fight to end this horrible disease. They provide services on how to find doctors. They have rehab centers. They help you deal with relapses. And they just overall help you understand what it's like to live with MS and give you the best life possible while you suffer through this disease. Until they find a cure, this society is determined to make life as easy as possible. According to CharityNavigator.org, the MS Society contributed over $1 million to finding a cure last year. They are driven and made it their mission to move toward a world free of this disease. Now, as I said before, imagine someone you love is faced with MS. What would you do? For me, I didn't have to imagine. This is my mom. She is 49 years old, has 3 kids, and is currently living with MS. When Mom was about 40 years old, she began to experience symptoms. She had numbness in her feet, tingling in her legs, and overall she described it as, "My legs just don't work." After going to several doctors, she ended up at a neurologist, and they diagnosed her with MS. Following this, she got treatments, and she got better. She wanted to live a fairly normal life. Now she's active. She runs 5K, she exercises, she even beats me at Fitbit challenges all the time. As you can see, looking at Mom, you would never know she had MS. And a large part of this is due to what the MS Society did to help her and our family. The MS Society provided a way for her to find research, to understand, to connect, to reach out to people. She got in touch with others who had this disease, and she even did a 50-mile walk with everyone who had MS. This society helped Mom to understand what she had, challenged her to get involved, and helped her begin the fight to end this disease. Now I will ask you, what are you going to do to end multiple sclerosis? If it was your mom, or your brother, or your cousin, or even your child, what would you do? Each person with this disease belongs to somebody. They're special. They're loved. They're important. The actions and services that the MS Society provided had a major impact on my mother's life. By simply donating a few of your dollars to this cause, you are one step closer to making sure our loved ones are able to keep living this disease, and one day able to live without it. Thank you.